what should merchants be doing now to get ready? And I don't just mean operatively, but what do you think of strategically, Stefan, when you think of the holiday season ahead?
Yeah, there are many things to really think about. I mean, first of all, it's about customer experience. And second of all, it's about when do you start preparing for Black Friday and the season before. Mike, you mentioned there will be peaks before, and I'm sure about that as well. So we need to make sure that all is set up correctly. And it's not about only that the logistics and everything is set up and the stocks are full and all of those things. It's more about what do you do on the website? What do you do with the data coming in and how to reactivate all those people that bought on Black Friday? So one thing that you might think of is maybe positioning a header banner on your homepage, just announcing that there will be a huge offer coming up. And all those people coming to your website up front, because volume will be high throughout the whole November. So a lot of people will click on this banner. And what you could do is like announcing there will be an offer. Everyone who clicks on this banner will be put into a remarketing list, maybe with a landing page for email registration so that you just gather emails as well. And on or shortly before Black Friday, you reactivate them again with maybe some upper funnel measures, some banners, some videos, of course, email marketing, and just make sure you get the most out of this data. On the other hand, for the website itself, consider creating a guest checkout. On Black Friday and the week before and Cyber Monday as well, everything needs to be really fast. Make it as easy as possible for people to check out. Of course, you will not get all the data. You will get most of the data, of course, but you get email data. And email data is key. As soon as you have the guest checkout, you will gather data faster and easier because more people will most likely buy. They don't have to sign up for an account or anything. They will buy. And this data is key for the next year because all the data you gather, and you will gather a lot of new customers' data, can be used throughout the whole year, can be used throughout December, January, and not only with the emails, but also with the website. So make sure the tag management is in place. Make sure you set up audience lists, remarketing lists based on what happens on Black Friday. Because of course, there will be a lot of returning visitors, no doubt about that, but there will be a lot of new customers and you will profit from it when you make sure that you really collect all this data on Black Friday. Volume is here, just make sure you gather the data and use it. So that's more of a usability strategic advice of what to do with the data. But of course, on the other hand, as mentioned before, make sure you are able to handle all this, what's going to happen. Make sure you can fulfill the orders and make sure you will deliver in time. Because if you're unable to fulfill the orders, you will get a whole lot of negative comments on the web, and that will never be good for you. So make sure you're prepared for it. That's key.
Yeah, definitely, and that comes to keeping your feed up to date and dynamically in these high volume periods too.
Mike, let me just maybe answer these two questions in there because they're pretty much the same. For the second one, if we should order the same amount of products like you did last year, depends on the vertical, of course. But from a natural standpoint, I would say yes, because I guess even Black Friday will be bigger than last year, but the season before Black Friday, the weeks before Black Friday will be even bigger than last year. So make sure your stock levels are full. The capacity is there. Most likely it will be better than last year. No one can really predict it, but that's what the market shows because even sales are up in September and I saw a really good start, or late September, early October will be huge as well. So I expect Black Friday to be even bigger and the weeks before. So make sure stock level is there. And for the budgeting, and that's what two people just asked, if we have an advice for budgeting, and that's the most tricky one because I cannot say just, triple your daily average budget because no one knows what's really going to happen. So there's one thing that will be key, and we will discuss it later a bit, but it's key that during Black Friday, you will measure your KPIs closely throughout the day, which means don't look at Google Ads data, don't look at Facebook data, don't look at all the delayed data. Make sure you have a system in place that really more or less in real time attributes conversion and revenue, because only then you can really say if the volume that you get is worth the amount of money you spend. And volume will go up. So we cannot say, increase your budget 5 times or something. You just have to monitor it closely, and you should define a KPI. Let's say a ROAS target, and you say, whatever happens, I can take it if the ROAS stays within a certain range. And then just take whatever you can get if you're within this ROAS goals. But you can, and I guess that's the hardest part, you cannot really budget for Black Friday. You just need to really calculate your margin situation, what kind of ROAS you can really take. And based on this, what you measure up front, you should budget throughout the day, and you have to monitor it closely. But it's nearly impossible to predict volume, predict budget. So just go for a KPI. And if you're confident with a ROAS of 20 and everything underneath or everything above that is fine for you, make sure you stay within this limit and take as much as you can get. But really naming a number, like let's say it's 5 times higher than last year, that's almost impossible. But we've seen it throughout the lockdown phase. It was higher, and it will be even higher during Black Friday. But just commit yourself on KPIs.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think in years past, if I remember, Google is usually recommending increasing budget 30% each year, and I guess we'll see more than 30% growth this year. So I would definitely have in mind that. Irene, CJ, anything you guys want to add on the topic?
Yeah, definitely stay flexible on that day. You have to monitor it from the early mornings. Conversion rate is high in the morning hours, and what we see is when people click, they are also converting if the intent is there. So it's not like you should invest in a low ROAS in the morning and then anticipate that they will come back and convert in the evening. No, the conversion rate actually stays quite stable throughout the day, where there is a slight increase in the morning. It feels like people are aware that the companies might get out of stock, so they are like faster on pulling the trigger and just do the purchase right there. So don't try to, if you see you have way too much cost and your ROAS is down, take action then. But if you see that, okay, I'm actually hitting my ROAS right now, also be willing to put in more spend throughout the day. So really flexibility and having direct live access to your data is key here. It's too late to make really big changes on the day, but so you have to kind of what I try to advise my clients, think of like the worst case scenario. What is the worst that could happen for you? Is that a huge overspend? Is that you are getting out of stock and keep getting orders on items that you do not have anymore, or generating a lot of traffic to items that are out of stock? And then try to focus on not getting in those pitfalls. Make your strategies based on that, and then really monitor throughout the day. It's going to be massive this year. It will be different than any of all the years. We can anticipate that. So yeah, that's my advice.
And one more thing to add, and it depends on vertical, but try to avoid spending money on products that won't sell. For example, if you're in the clothing industry and you just have like XX large products available, make sure you put them out of the shopping feed or something, because based on the 80-20 rule, they will drive a lot of volume, a lot of cost. But as I said, based on 80-20 rule, most people have medium or large. XX large is pretty, rare, let's say. But if you're in the shopping auction and you're shown with your product, people will click no matter what size they have. So make sure that you apply specific rules to maybe even exclude products from your Google Shopping feed to just avoid spending too much on products that won't sell.
One note on that, Stefan. There's some breaking news today regarding these free shopping tab clicks through the Surfaces program, and that'll be rolling out here in Europe in mid-October. And what I would mention is, you can, rather than excluding them from your feed totally, you might want to change where they're targeted to, and you can still keep those products targeted at the shopping tab, because then you can benefit from those free clicks, and there's no reason why not to. You want to activate as many products as you can within the shopping tab, and that can be done via the feed too. And CJ, I just want to mention, I like this comment about asking about the worst case, understanding what that might be. I think it's really important when you're defining a strategy, not just to focus on what you want to happen, but also what are your non-goals, and then you have a clear sense of boundaries and a good basis for making decisions.